and I would like to share with you a daily ritual that I do. Everyone has innately within themselves the ability to connect with the divine, and this is the way I do it. I believe in a god and a goddess, that energy which permeates, which fills existence and creates life. I believe in galactic energies and honoring them, and through the five elements, I honor them, and through the god and goddess, I honor them. This is the chalice that I use. You'll notice it's silver, plated in the very center is a pentagram, and that pentagram protects the person who is to drink from the chalice. Next, to honor the goddess, I have taken grapes and I've made new wine for the goddess from the grapes in my backyard. This process was very involved. So what I do is I take and I pour this fresh liquid into the chalice for the goddess. I personally feel like honoring the goddess before taking a drink is always preferable, because after all, she gave us these grapes, the great Mother Earth, and I feel that this grape juice honors her. You can also use it to do your own ceremony to the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost if you prefer to do it from a Christio-Pagan perspective. And after doing that, I light candles to honor the god. This is my fire tiger lighter, and I light the candles on my altar, which you can see over here. Tilt it down. And I have angels because I have an affinity to angels. And I will take the chalice and I will place it on the altar. Typically, I raise the chalice above my head once the candles are lit to honor the goddess. And I set it down amongst the foliage to honor nature. By lighting these angels, I ask them to guard my sacred space. I have cleansed the altar with sage and herbs and salt, and wherewith they can cleanse from any negative energy. You can point it to the outside or to doors or into, so that the ritual will be holy. Next, you cleanse the entire area by sound. This is a tuning fork that I bought at a place called the Forbidden Bookstore in San Diego. And what I do is I take this and I ring it. And that cleanses this space so that the ritual that takes place will be from a place of purity. Next, I will pull out a fresh stick of incense. I prefer sandalwood because it represents purity and also draws love and sensuality into your life. My Thor's hammer protects me and other crystals that I have. I actually have a bag of crystals, which I'll discuss, and that's for amplification of spells and spellcraft. It's important when you ring the bell to imagine all the negativity from the day and any disruptive thoughts to leave. I push them into what I call a ball of energy outside my room, and different balls of energy represent different types of emotions, different energy, positive or negative, and I can pull on those energy sources when I need them to perform a magic spell. Next, I take this, and inside I have placed also another purification. When I did a ritual earlier on in the year, I asked permission from a pine tree to cut one of its branches, and by cutting off that branch, I was given these as a gift to amplify the power of runes in my rune casting, which I will do a short ritual to explain that. So you take this, I have a crystal lotus flower, and I take that and I place that as well over here on my altar. And then, of course, you can use the already lit candle to light it and wave it back and forth like this. Make sure it's not a fire hazard, because if you do that, you're distributing the heat evenly so that your incense will definitely stay in the correct essence. So now this brings added purity. The incense will keep your ritual nice and pure through the duration of it. And these will symbolize fire. And being a fire sign, it is important that I have an affinity for fire. You can have different bowls and different other things to hold various objects, incenses you make, and then of course there's this. Now that everything has been purified and cleansed, you can, of course, purify it again and ring the bell the number of times that is associated with your sign. Mine is 5 because I'm a Leo, and so my power number is 5, similar to the 5 points of a pentagram. So these things will honor and give power to your ritual because they have personal meaning and symbolic meaning. They also help hope, and they help amplify and remove any doubt because you have a personal connection with them. The triangle on my forehead also represents fire, and fire is my symbol as well. The next thing you'll do is I highly recommend this book. It's probably one of the only books of magic I've read where there was an intensity of burning about it, and it's called A Handbook of Rune Magic, and it is by, if you can see, it is by Eldred Thorson, Edred, and the last name is Thorsson. And this will explain the different runes that you can use to amplify your spells. You're going to need, as well, if you choose, some different herbs and some different essential oils to amplify your spells. Candle spells are particularly powerful. Now, for a beginning thing you'll want to do before every day is to purify yourself with different oils. This oil is one that I got at Lady of the Lake in California, and you take it and you take the protection oil and you say, may angels protect the front, the back, and both sides of my body and all my chakras today as I go out in public. You can use the power of the goddess to also give you power. If you need healing, this is a healing oil. Once you know runes, you can place a healing rune on yourself, and then you can amplify that rune to remove any sort of thing that that might be causing you any problems. And then you can also anoint yourself with frankincense and myrrh, just as Jesus was, and that will innately allow a spiritual guidance to come through your third eye here, and then from the top of your crown chakra. Next, you get a plate for casting. This is the plate I choose to rune cast on. This is my bag. The Eye of Ra will deter people from reading, having anything associated with your personal energy. Next, runes are typically anointed with blood. Now, if you don't want to let your own blood, just wait till you accidentally cut yourself or something happens. And blood magic is particularly powerful. This is a small symbolic meaning of runes. I tend to use the Handbook of Rune Magic for more in depth. And then you ask something that you want, you shake it, and then each corner will represent something more of the divine. I'm in the top, quadrant, or you can just pick anything and say, oh, the rune closest to me is the answer. You can also reach in and grab a rune, but because they're different weights and sizes, sometimes it's good to cast the runes, as the ancients did. And you say something like, how can I achieve true love for this Valentine's Day? And you focus, and then you release the runes out. And whichever one lands closest to you, and for me it was the P rune. It looks like a P. And so you kind of look at where they're cast and where you feel, and then you would look up the definition, a brief definition according to the people who made these tiger's eye runes, which I'm a tiger sign, is that the this particular rune means joy, Wunjo. So that is a basic thing of what will help draw the correct person to me. And that's like letting out the joy of life, the happiness, to realize that, you know, whether you're single or whether you wish to meet somebody, have yourself be full of joy, you know, show them your best self. Don't be too morose, because, you know, I mean, doing magic is an awesome thing. It will give you guidance, it will give you personal power. But not only that, you can go and you can do some research into it and find what works best for you. There are many divination systems out there, and runes are very fast and efficient, and I found that they carry a lot of power because of their simplicity. When you combine multiple runes, it will amplify the magical abilities, and it allows you to bring art into everything that you do. And so that is a very simple way of having a ritual place, because I already have a circle inside my chalice. I believe I'm already protected, and also the sanctum sanctorium I have blessed and cleansed and protected with sage and salt and various other things, protective spells, so that way when I am doing spell work in here, I'm already in a safe place. You will connect best if you follow your heart. Whatever deities you use, whatever way you connect with the divine, it will give you guidance, and it will give you power and protection. And then you can, and yes, it is mysterious and ancient, but as a wizard, I know that as I progress along my path, more and more knowledge will come to me, and I will add that to all of these things. You don't have to be stagnant in a path. You can be eclectic. We live in the information age. Create your own religion. Create your own divination system. Be creative. Be powerful. Be unique. And I guarantee joy and personal power, prosperity, and the other things that you want will be drawn into your life. Because how could they not be? You know, how could they not be? You know, and then of course when you're doing spell work, be sure to ground yourself. You know, connect. This helps you to ground, but sit on the ground, meditate. Allow that energy to surge up from the earth and to surge down from the heavens, because you need to be grounded. You need to be protected. And if you need an extra boost, I highly recommend getting yourself, you know, it's called a juju bag in a lot of cultures. But in other people who don't believe in that, you know, I say that they're missing out. But this is something where you would put sacred herbs and you would put sacred gems inside of it. So that way, and I made this back in middle school, so it has personal meaning to me. And this right here is, you know, to flip for the I Ching, as an I Ching coin. And I placed in here some different herbs and crystals that I find are good for me. I would recommend the Wizard Stone because it grows as you grow. That personal progression. As you're doing magic work, it will grow as you grow and as you gain further knowledge. So I highly recommend using crystals as well to amplify your energy. Use things to open your third eye, to give protection to you as you're online or whatnot. Find crystals that you feel an affinity towards. I love you all. I hope this has been a helpful video on a short way to go out in public. These symbols will help protect you. I guarantee it. And I hope that you realize that as you believe, as you start to see magic work in your life, you're going to have more and more hope and more belief that that didn't originate perhaps with the culture you were raised in. However, magic and the mysticism runs throughout all religions and all cultures. If you are a wizard, you can be any religion you want to be. A wizardry is something that comes from the inside, and it's the power behind the dogma. So I love you all, and good luck.